Hi everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to a beautiful summer's day here in Moscow. Welcome to a really interesting walk around, or I think it will be, and I'm going to take it together with you. Let's go. Where I want to start the video from is right here at the intersection of Tverskaya Street, very well known part of the center of Moscow, plenty of traffic and plenty of cars going by. This is the State Duma, which is where some of the government has their offices, and a lot of things get sorted out in Russia right there. This is the Four Seasons Hotel, very well known, rather expensive hotel in the center of Moscow. As somebody goes whizzing by. And what I want to show you is right here. And this is quite interesting. This is actually a temporary festival that they've set up, and all of these plants and trees are very much temporary. They actually have the open top buses here in Moscow, but this is what we want to see. Just here they've actually got a festival honoring Vietnam, and they've got this whole event set up to showcase Vietnam as a country, and lots of different events around that. They've also got lots of different photo zones where you can take some pictures, relax in the shade, and enjoy this event. And I thought I'd take you along. Now it is busy because it's the middle of the day, and this is also the school holidays in Russia as well. So naturally more people will come to the center of Moscow. So let's just walk around and take it all in. What is really very interesting is all of these gardenscapes that they've built and put here temporarily for summertime. And all these mature trees and tropical plants, which we'll see as we walk around a little bit more. Off to the right here is a Hotnariad shopping center, which is a very well-known underground shopping center very close by the Kremlin and Red Square. We're not going in the shopping center today, it's too nice. We've got to go for a walk through this festival they've got set up. The hotel here is huge, let me tell you. All of the very well-known stars that come to Moscow and different politicians end up staying there. And then people who want to be right in the center of Moscow end up booking and staying there as well. So as we walk around, I want you to immerse yourself in a little bit of Vietnamese culture. Now, of course, naturally, when they have these sorts of events, everybody's coming for food and photos. I think that's the two F's that are covered. And of course, when you do an event in the center of Moscow, naturally a lot of people come to these events and large crowds. And what's really nice is the food vendors are all Vietnamese locals. I would imagine they've got businesses here somewhere in Moscow. There is a really cool Vietnamese shopping center in the northeast of Moscow called Hanoi Moscow, which I'm not too sure how many locals know about it, but there's a very, very neat shopping center that's essentially Vietnamese dedicated. So all the different trees and plants, by the way, also have little stakes in them telling you the different variety of plants that they've got set up. Of course, after a lot of walking around. Some nice places to sit. And then there is all sorts of different stalls and stands selling Vietnamese products. The events that they set up in the center of Moscow and in different places around the city are all centered around a thing called Summer in Moscow. And they have different festivals, different events. Hello.
Vanessa.
Oh, pleased to meet you. Wow. And they do different events in different places. They've normally got about 20 locations set up that you can visit. And it's all about getting everybody out into the summer sun and getting outdoors and enjoying Moscow and enjoying Russia. And discovering somewhere different that maybe you haven't been to before. Now, of course, we're in the very center of Moscow here. I think most people, even who live in the Moscow region, may not necessarily come to this very central point of the city. What's really neat to see is the decorations and detail that they put into these events. And just to build this whole structure, this is completely temporary. So going into winter time, they remove this whole thing and it all magically goes somewhere until next summer. They've got different food stands set up with different types of food and drinks. And then they've actually even got the menu in a couple of different languages. Get some drinks. The only thing I'll ever tell you if you're coming to these sorts of events is be patient. Because you're in a metropolis city that has somewhere between 15 and 18 million people. So when they hold some kind of an event in the center of Moscow, it doesn't take a lot of people for somewhere like this to be absolutely crowded. They've got some nice drinks and food. I would really like some tom yum if I can find it, despite the hot weather. So there's plenty of places to sit and relax. Comfy sofas. Nobody is too worried about the day. I think a lot of people are happy to come and get in the shade. There's a stand here promoting coconut water, it looks like, or macadamia milk. Check that out. Good way to promote a local product. Or
Do you see waterfall there?
Yes.
It's one.
Yeah. Yeah, there's going to be a waterfall somewhere up here. I haven't fully walked around yet. We'll look at the plants. And we've got some desserts, it looks like. There's also some stands with souvenirs for sale. I would be very curious and think that they have a lot of these things that come from Hanoi, Moscow, because when you go there, they've got lots of little shops and stands. Let's have a look at everybody. It's not a problem to walk around and just be patient. These are pretty cool. Now somewhere in the middle here, there is also a koi pond with some fish. It's really so interesting to walk around this central part of Moscow, and for a few minutes you're taken away from being here in Russia and you're in a different place altogether. Yeah, there's a temporary fish pond, so you can pick out the fish and have that for lunch. So you just have to let them know which fish you want, and they'll actually cook. No, they don't. I'm just kidding. Some people have thrown some coins in for good luck. So there's some koi, and I think some very large goldfish as well, which is pretty neat. And lots of people want to take some photos, and always the kids want to get super close. Just look at the detail though, these plants. Now these are definitely not suitable plants for all year round in Russia, but at an event like this, perfect. Here is some bigger koi fish swimming by. There's even some turtles. Wow. Turtle soup. Well, maybe not. In Moscow. Are they real, or are they just moving around with batteries? they kind of look real, but yeah, he's moving his head. So, wow. I know in the comments everyone's going to be upset with me pointing, and I've been told off for pointing on videos, and I've got to show you the fish. Let's have a look at everybody here. This is really cool. We can see in the background the State Historical Museum, and then one of the corners of the Kremlin off in the distance there as well. Lots of people who want to see the koi fish swimming around. So the different stalls here have got different things for sale, and these well-known hats seem to be very popular. I've got some other things like fans and trinkets. They're doing good trade in hats. Also a stand here with some tea and mangoes and some different, and some different sweets and drinks. Now, as I walk around, I don't mean to be rude by not stopping as people are talking. It's very hard to film these sorts of things. Also some different foods. Sensoi. Fairly sure I've got some sauce at home from this company. And they've got some rice and different seasonings. And this is just so nice. I hope it's interesting to see something like this, and just how two cultures can overlap in the middle of the city. They're doing sandwiches as well. It is very humid today, and I think we're all waiting for the clouds to roll over. They've got some more drinks, mango drinks as well. And I think a lot of people probably enjoying this event. Perhaps they've been to Vietnam at some point and know some of the different things that are being represented. Coffee. Probably it's not as busy at the coffee stand because of how warm it is. Oh, have a look. I've got some drums. So really a nice event trying to walk around and not in people's way. And this is what the previous lady mentioned, this waterfall right here. And the hardest workers in Moscow, the staff who clean the streets. It's like a school group going by. Everybody happy, they're all eating ice cream. This is very neat. And this isn't a small structure to build as well. Naturally, everybody wanting photos. I think that's an absolute given when you come into Moscow. It's really nice. The waterfall's just spraying off some cold water at the same time. Sorry. And trying to get in the jungle. It's really cool. And everybody, of course, wanting photos. Really is quite contrasting when you walk out to this square area here and you see the Kremlin across the way, and then Alexander Garden is off in the distance. And then as you turn around slowly, you're transformed into this wonderland of greenery and plants. I still wonder where these trees come from and where they've brought them in from. Do they have nurseries somewhere that look after these things? Because these are full grown trees and palms. We've also got a stage set up here. I think they must do different shows throughout the day. Then over here they've got a pond, which must be some kind of a water show, which is really neat. And they've got some ornaments that you can buy. Which are pretty neat. Let's keep walking around. There's always that thing that they talk about with social media, like the actual object you're looking at, and then the reality when you turn the other direction slightly. So you see the waterfall and the water coming from the top of the structure here, and then when you turn around, of course everybody wanting their photos. So many people out and about today as well. I thought by coming on a Monday it might be a little bit quieter, but I'm a little bit mistaken. Got another spot for photos. Everybody's tucked away into all sorts of corners trying to get a good photo. And this bamboo here is not small as well. It is huge. This is what we all want, some shade. Now, a lot of people who do come into Moscow like I do, we generally come in at one metro station, do a walk around the city, and then end up leaving through another one. Check out all these palm trees. I'm really not in Moscow when you see these things growing. And where do they get them from? Somebody please tell me where these are all hiding. And there's a full-blown palm tree back here. It's really impressive. And then even just building the planters and then bringing in the rocks and different things. You are absolutely in the center of Moscow, and then you're completely lost in this tropical jungle. You can see the back of the waterfall here, and this would have to be 3 stories high at least. They've got this large structure here welcoming you to Vietnam. Even the lettering as well in different languages is pretty neat. The amount of people that are out and about. Now naturally with the school holidays, more people have time off. Lots of people bring their kids and family into the center of Moscow. But everybody is just enjoying this little bit of a culture shift for a few minutes. And these are all real. They're not fake plants in any way. Just the work that goes into installing these and bringing them in from somewhere is a whole event in itself that's very mistaken. Now it's hard to walk around and try to get that clean, beautiful photograph. Again, everybody just in awe of this waterfall, and I am too, just the size of it and what they've actually built. And then the amount of people as you try to make your way around. Now I will say today is also a working day in Russia, so the greater population of Moscow is at work today. But naturally, with all the kids and students, lots of people are also on days off. Very neat. Daklak 1936. There's one other section a little further along the square. It's a little bit quieter than the main part with the waterfall. Also got some different things on display as well. A little bit more of the culture related to the area. I think also they've got some master classes that they host. So you can come and learn to play some of the instruments. Maybe not as well as the people demonstrating them. Well, that's pretty neat to see. They have a small food court area in the back as well. So you can easily find somewhere to sit down and have something to eat. Another school group wanting to get up close. And they've got all these different food stalls all the way along this edge right here. So lots of different drinks, spring rolls. There is some different food. It's much quieter at this part of the stand. Made in Vietnam, so they've got a little bit of information about the food and what they have. Looks like they've got corn as well, and they're using the barbecues here for some of the food. Yogurt and fruits. Looks very nice. And then also these gardens. I mean, there's full-blown grass here. And then these different conifers. Isn't it called topiary when they cut the trees like this? I'm fairly sure that's the right word that they use. Video wall showing some scenes. But really nice, these gardens. I mean, it's just hard to comprehend for a minute or two that you are in the center of Moscow and what they set up and display. More food, Vietnamese rice, shrimp chips. Everybody enjoying the food over here. And then have a look, there's even a lady working on the plants. It would have to be a non-stop job this time of year. Mango shakes. I wanted to make this as raw as possible so you could just get a bit of an idea of what's going on. This gentleman sweating away at the barbecue as everybody waits for the food. Barbecue shrimp, nemgar. So really nice. Oh, look at all these roses here. This is pretty neat in itself. There's another stand here with all the different Vietnamese products. All the little souvenirs. Little trinkets. More hats. And everybody just taking in the culture. Very nice. There's also some of these stands here with different photos. So I wonder if there's a bit of a overlap here with the tourism minister from Vietnam promoting the country. It's pretty neat to see all these different scenes of different places in the shadows of the Four Seasons Hotel. Where is the sun gone? When I left home a few hours ago, it was absolutely roasting, and now that the shades come over, it's cooled down a little bit. They have one of these bikes. They call them rickshaws. I think that's the right name. Here is one of the master classes for the kids. And they can paint their own hats. So these are all part of the event that they set up, and it's all complimentary. Just have to find a chair and sit down. I think the kids love this sort of thing. Oh, the lights here. How nice is this? And these are not simple things to set up and display, and there's a lot of work involved in doing this. And just to walk around the center and get this little bit of a different feeling. All the different regions and places. Very nice. My quest to have some hands. They're all back tomorrow. Of course I can do that, but it's not really the point of the video to spread it over a couple of days. I mean, I have to remember the amount of people that come to these events, and it's literally only early afternoon that I'm here. And I think even they are probably overwhelmed with the amount of people and the popularity of these sorts of events. So hopefully for the next few days they'll get more stock, and we're just gonna have to enjoy the event for what it is. I mean, the amount of people as I've walked around, I mean, did they know about this? Or are they just coming for a walk in the center and came across this event? There is usually so many things happening in summertime here that it's hard to keep up with the amount of different places that you can visit and go to. The minute they put something in the very center here, naturally more people will come to see these things. The kids look like they're so tempted to jump in and have a swim. Here is the blue skies. It's really so interesting. They've got the music in the background, and you're definitely taken away from Russia as you stand here and soak it all up. As I walk on out of the Vietnam Festival, I was really hoping to have some soup. Even with the very hot weather, I was hoping that possibly one of the many stalls would have some, but they don't. I'll save it for another video. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope this walk around of the center of Moscow was interesting. There's still a lot of people coming and going as I'm walking around. And if you like this sort of thing, give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if there's any particular place in Moscow that you would find interesting to make a video. Of course, there is a lot of places that I haven't fully discovered myself. And these small events just give you an insight into what summer is like here in the biggest capital of Russia. Now, a lot of people will tell me St. Petersburg is more beautiful, but I think Moscow has got a lot of things going for it as well. So thanks everybody for watching this video. I'm just trying to make sure I stay out of people's way as I'm walking around. It's a little bit difficult. Again, thumbs up if you liked it. There's too many people that I'm losing my train of thought. No problems though. If you want to follow me on Telegram, the link to my channel is right here. And if you want to watch an old video on the channel, nice and easy, you can click this link and keep traveling with Russell. Okay everybody, I'm off on another adventure. Bye.